Today's class, okay, we are going to talk about, we are going to read NCERT standard books or materials for optionals, then newspapers and current affairs. Each requires a different technique. Don't think that, it is same as reading for your school or college examination. School and college examination completely different. Competitive examination is completely different. In competitive examination, you have to read according to the needs of the examination. Okay, and each one, NCERT, standard books, newspaper, current affairs, has its own method, techniques. Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to read the NCERT initially. Okay, and then the standard materials or books. Okay, and how to make notes. Newspaper, how to read newspaper, how to read a current affairs magazine, we will do it later. Okay, after a week or so, because now we are not going to touch the newspapers. I will want you to start with the magazines. Okay, sorry, I will start with the NCERTs. So first let us talk about NCERTs and standard books, how to study. Then we will talk about how to start reading newspapers and current affairs magazine later. In reading, we must read in a shorter time and learn a lot of things, right? So what is the technique to read faster in a shorter time? Time management is very important. Okay, while you are reading, time management is very important. And what do you mean by time management? All of them talk about time management. You open the Facebook, you open the WhatsApp, everybody talks about time management. What is time management? Time management involves two things. One is prioritizing. Before you start to read, you have to prioritize. Okay. And then you must be knowing to discriminate. Okay, some of you may be asking, sir, this is polity class. You're a polity, sir. You're asking to discriminate. I'm not asking you to discriminate people. To discriminate between what to study, what not to study. Avoid what not to study. That is very important. Okay, many aspirants, for example, they'll take the NCERT book. They'll read all the stories, all the pictures there, the cartoons and other things, laugh and forget the content. What has to be remembered for the examination, that will be forgotten. So you must know to prioritize and also discriminate. Then only you can manage time. Prioritizing means, putting the priority, like I will read this first, this subject first, next this subject, next the third subject, next the fourth subject, like that. You have to prioritize. And you have to ask your seniors. Okay, and in class, Sengol IAS Academy classes, we will be telling you what chapters not to read, what books not to read. You avoid them. No, there is a story in Bible, right? Okay, the first story of Adam and Eve, where God says that you don't this apple. The very next act of man is to eat that apple, which God said no, and they have to come out of the Eden garden. Okay, they have to suffer, okay, throughout their life. Likewise, in UPSC preparation, what your guru says, you have to listen to it. If the person says yes, this is the way, you should agree. Okay, in our academy, if I say that this is not required to go, don't touch this subject, don't touch. Even if it is interesting, you should not touch it. You can touch it, read it after your mains examination. First, aim for your examination. You must read only what is required for the examination. So time management is very important. You must prioritize, must discriminate. Time stamping is very important. Okay, time stamping. So what is this time stamping? It is not that the number of pages you read. It is how many pages you read in a particular time. So when you begin to read, you have to mark a time. Say 9 o'clock in the morning, you are starting to reading. Till 11 a.m., 2 hours you are reading. You have to calculate how much pages you have read. Okay. Some of my students will come and say, sir, I have read 100 pages. How many hours you read? Sir, I read it in 1 month. There's no use. Okay. If you are reading, the number of pages in a particular time, that must be calculated. So You always sit before a clock, or you keep a small clock before you. Okay, maybe timer also on it. Then start reading it. When you finish reading, stop it. See how much pages you have completed, how much content you have completed in a given time. Okay, time stamping is important so that you can increase the speed. Tomorrow, the same number of pages, you can say I can read it, less than like if you are taking 1 hour today, the next day you can say I will read it in 55 minutes, then 50 minutes, then 45 minutes, and okay, just if you are able to read, okay, 30 to 40% faster than your competitor, the rate of you covering more syllabus is possible. Many of them is not knowing the skill, since they are not able to timestamp, then since they are not increasing their reading speed, when the exam time comes, they will come and say, sir, I am able to work out only 100 questions. I demand them to put 400 questions per day. They say that, sir, it is Himalayan task, but it is possible when you practice this from the beginning to do the faster reading. Faster reading is to prioritize, discriminate, and do the time stamping. Okay, start time, end time, that you have to do. Okay, fine. Now, first time when you are reading the NCRT, I will give you the priority first. Okay, priority of NCRT. Okay, what books to read later. Okay, now tell you how to read a NCRT book. Supposing you are taking a 11th standard NCRT of political science and international relation, I give you all the list of the books that you have to read and what priority that you should read, where it should be downloaded later. Okay, now you wait and listen to me. Okay, so with respect to how to learn and how reading for competitive examination is different from your regular studies. Okay, I will give a example, but before that I want to ask a question to you all. Okay, so what is the question? The question is, what is the difference between studying a textbook and a novel? What is the difference between studying a textbook and novel? Yes? Anybody? Yeah, yeah. Studying a textbook means that page by page you will read, and whenever you are stuck with the unknown word, okay, or something is glazy, okay, you are not able to understand the meaning, you will keep on sticking to that page. But if you are going to read a novel of your interest, once you take the novel, no, you will read it casually. You just flip through the pages, okay, very fast, without worrying, whether you have understood the word or what is written there. And surprisingly, when you go to the next pages, you will find that whichever word was not known to you, whichever area was, uh, like in cloudy for you, is clear now, and you have understood the word, right? So I would suggest that you have to read for UPSC like a novel. Read like a novel. Read NCRTs like a novel. Okay. Read NCRTs like a novel. So do we need to underline while reading? No, not necessarily. Okay. Unless and until you feel that it is very important, very, then you can do. But, underlining is not at all important in the first reading. Okay, first time when you read the NCRT, it is not at all required. Okay. But what you can do is, you can summarize each page. In that page itself, you can summarize in 3 points. Okay, 3 to 5 point summary. Okay, what is the content? What is the content there? Okay. Now, a very sharp reader will also do this. Okay, that whenever he reads, he will strike down all the examples and the context, which is not required for revision. What is required is the points for the examination. That points alone you take it as a summary. Okay. So 3 to 5 point summary you have to make. Then when I say read the NCERT like a novel, okay, don't bother to understand. Okay, don't bother to memorize. Okay, meaning don't worry that things are not going into your mind. You're not able to remember. Okay, some people will say, sir, past 3 days I'm reading the book. I forgot all that I read in the first day. So what should I do, sir? Continue reading. Okay, as you go on to various lessons, various subjects, things will get interconnected, and when we do the revision part, it will come to your mind. No problem at all. So first time when you're reading, your mind should not be bothered about memory or understanding. You just casually read it like a novel with the curiosity, that you are entering into the field of civil services. Okay, when you go into the uh, sports field, okay, suppose cricket or athletics, first the sports person is given a welcome drink, okay, all energy drinks, okay, carbohydrates is given to them, good welcome is given to them, a cultural festival is taking place for them, okay, then they enter into the fight competition, right? Likewise, you should feel that reading NCERT is you are entering into the competition, you're entering into the battlefield. Okay, before that you have to enjoy reading. So don't bother about anything. Okay, don't bother about memorizing, don't bother about understanding. Okay, eventually as you read, you will come to the understanding. Parallelly, the classes will also be going on. So when faculties discuss each the topic, they will give the meaning. So parallelly you will be able to learn things. Okay, so just read it like a novel. Keep targets. Okay, that is very important. Not only time target, day target. That is, every day 2 hours I'm going to study polity, and that too for another 15 days. The plan I will give you, but I'm telling you, okay, is that only when you have that plan you will be able to achieve it in time. Okay, now certain other techniques that you have to remember during reading. Okay, so what is that? When you read, okay, there will be two types that we read. One is you will do manually or digitally. Whether you do it manually or digitally, you have to, like, use your finger on the lines, okay, or the mouse pointer when you read it digitally. Why? Because many a time we read one line, and instead of going to the next line, we read from the same line. This is how time is wasted, a lot of time. Okay, instead of reading a particular content in 10 minutes, you take 20 minutes because of repetition to avoid repetition. You will be doing, said that, sir, you are telling childish things. You remember, okay, here childish is not important, faster completion is important. For that you have to go through. Now there is a posture in which you have to sit, okay, while you are reading. Okay, that your head should be straight. Okay, only your eyes should be moving like this. Okay, so that the jumping of the lines will not be missing. But this is difficult. Are you a statue? Are you a robo? Okay, so while you reading, sometimes mosquito may come and bite you, or some disturbance is there. Somebody walks that side. Okay, so you will have to move your head. That is why we are going the traditional childish method of using the finger. Okay, so some distraction you can keep it and see whatever it is and come back and follow the studies. Okay, so doing that. And moreover, okay, they say reading louder is good for school and college. Okay, where you have enough time to read. Okay, you are not don't need to read faster. Okay, so open loudly reading the text in order to memorize. That is the strategy for school examination. But competitive examination, you need not speak louder. Okay, cut your monologue. Okay, you just need to grasp the meaning. Even if 2 3 words are not read truly, you should jump this off, in, the, prepositions and other things. You have to jump over the keywords. Okay, for that you need to cut your monologue. Okay, like when you're reading, linearly reading. For example, if there is a text that Union Public Service Commission, okay, like that, UPSC, that's all. Civil Service Examination, CSE. When civil service starts, you must know next word is examination, jump to the next word. Okay. So many a time the words are repeated for the sake of grammar and for the sake of structuring. While reading, you should avoid that. If you want to write that, cut your monologue. Very important. Okay. Okay. Use pointers, finger or pointers. Cut your monologue. Okay. Then there is a concept called as skimming through. Okay. So you know that a story is going to be told. You know that some examples are being told. So there you should not be concentrating on the data and numbers. Okay, leave them. When you come for the second reading, revision and all, just you want to understand the context, cut them and go. Simple. Okay, so skimming through is important. But the skimming through technique while reading NCERT, no need to apply as of now. Okay, because you need the practice. As the time goes, I'll give the practice how to skim. While we come for how to read the newspapers, okay, the skimming technique will be skipping techniques and all will be helpful for you. When I teach that, you will be able to apply it here. So right now, you just note down skimming and leave it. Okay, so what you're going to do is, okay, use your finger or pointers, cut your monologue, okay, and then read it. So, and once again, use the time. Okay, so time stamping so that you will be reading it faster. Okay, so I think all of you are now clear how to read. I'll give the first set of NCERTs that has to be started today itself. Okay. Geography NCERT. First, I would want you to read the 6 to 10 book. Polity and other things I will give you some other order. Okay, now since you are beginners, I'm giving this 6 to 10th book. Okay, what is the time period that you have to study? Okay, so I've given you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 years of book. Okay, 5 years of book. So 6th, 7th and all is small only. 8th little bit bigger, 9th little bit bigger, 10th much bigger than that. Okay, so I will give you 7 days from today. Okay, how many hours? Okay, 3 to 4 hours. So I'll fix a time because you will be reading newspaper and then you are beginners. So you begin from this 2 hours a day. Okay, because for us half an hour we study itself, we will be tired. We want to sleep more or give recreation and some treat for ourselves. So since you are beginners, I will suggest that today you go and study, okay, for 2 hours. Sir, where to download this NCERT books? Okay, ncert.nic.in. Okay, in that if you go, there is textbooks. If you click 600 book, Our Planet, you click it, download online. Okay, if you are having the book manually, it is fine. Okay, for those people who feel, sir, you are saying write notes, sometimes underline, highlight and all, manually it can be done. How can we do it digitally? You can do digitally. There is a called Zodo, okay, .com, Zodo, XOZDO.com. Okay, this Zodo.com, you upload a book or thing, you can highlight, you can comment, you can mark. Okay, you can play around with it just like a manual reading. Okay, So normal reading. Now there is other softwares like OneNote and all. Will come one by one. I'll discuss. And Zoro.com you can use it. Okay, to do that. And Google Playbooks, Google Books in short. Okay, that also in mobile phones you can use it. There also you can highlight. Okay, you can store it. But taking note will be a much difficult task. So I prefer read with the laptop. You go for Zoro.com. Okay, ncrt.nic.in. Okay, fine, fine. So this is the order I have given you. First geography. After reading geography, we will read about polity. Okay, the next subject that we have to go is polity. Okay, because geography determines the place we live in, determines our day-to-day activities, and people who rule us also determine our day-to-day activities. So that is why geography first, and then we are going to read polity. Economy will be the continuity of polity, because the polity controls the economy too. It is the interfusion of polity and geography. Economy is evolved and sustains. So we will read economy, and history of course can be put in any order. Okay, but for us, it will be the fourth thing. Okay, to be read. So that is the priority. So now this has been given as a priority. Please note it down. I hope you are all noting it down. If you are not noting it down, okay, whatever energy I am spending is waste. Okay, kindly note it down. Okay. So we have discussed, how to read, and the priority of books also I have told you. Now I must tell you about note making. I told you, you must realize what is the purpose of making notes, right? So when you make notes, you must realize note making is for revision purposes. Note making is for revision purposes. Revision, how much time you will get just before the day of the examination, especially IAS, IPS exam and all, one day for two subjects, GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, back to back, morning, afternoon. Okay, you just give 2 to 3 hours of revision time. So if that is the shortest time of revision, you have to prepare your notes in that way that it should be shorter as much as possible. Okay, so note making should be shorter. Okay, precise, and mostly it should consist of mind maps. It should consist of flow charts. Okay, and it should be consisting of diagrams. Okay, sometimes maps also, if it is geography, maps also, drawings. See, human beings as pictographic mind, which means we learn more, we remember more by seeing images. They will say that if you want to say something through words, instead of that a picture speaks in 100 ways. So what you do is all the words you convert it into a picture. So this picture will ensure that you are able to do things in an effective manner. Remember things, remember whatever studied in an effective manner and presenting it effectively. Okay, so I would suggest that you go for note making in a shorter way and through diagram way, through flow charts. I will give you demonstration while we go to the quality class and all. Okay, right, when I write on board, I will give you the demonstrations. It will be easy for you to learn. Not only me, other faculties also will do the same. They will use timelines, graphs, and other things, in order to explain things to you. You can incorporate that in your notes. Okay. Whether you should make notes for all the subjects. First of all, okay, NCRTs. First time reading NCRTs, no notes. Okay. Once you go for the standard books of each subject, for example, polity, there is one book, Lakshmikanth standard book is there. When you read that book, all the points from the NCRT you can incorporate into that book or incorporate into your class notes, so that one comprehensive notes is made. See, we cannot be making polity notes from NCRT standard book plus whatever has been taught in class. 3 different sources, all should be clubbed together. Okay, so what you do is, okay, listen to class. Okay, and then, okay, read the standard book. Okay, and add notes, add the extra points to class notes. Okay, then, okay, add extra points to class notes, and then add points from NCERT. Now this order may change. Okay, this order may change. First you may read the standard book, and then you can listen to the class. For example, sometimes you may be reading faster than the class. Okay, so you want to read newer subjects. Yes, even before the class is taken for you, you can read the subjects and come to the class, listen to the class, and then whatever new understandings is there, you can add on to that. So instead of having three different notes, all notes consolidated into one. Okay, so that revising will be easier for you. Remember this. Okay, never ever go for, okay, note making for each and everything. It is difficult. Sometimes in UPSC, for example, uh, quality, Lakshmikant itself is a material. Okay, there are some materials, for example, environment, there is a material itself. Indian society material itself is there. Art and culture material itself is there in the book format. Okay, instead of taking fresh notes, you can read there itself. And I'll tell you how to, minimize the time when you are revising it. Okay, when we come to the revise part. So what you do is, you consolidate and have one set of notes. That is enough. And each faculty will tell you whether to take notes for that subject or not follow that. In case of quality, I would say that don't take notes. Just refer Lakshmikant. Add all the class notes, class points in Lakshmikant, and points from NCERT in Lakshmikant. Okay, and keep that as one material, I would say. Okay, and I will also mark and give in quality class what are the chapters in Lakshmikant should read, what you can skip. Okay, so that you will have a exam oriented book, standard book in your hand. Like this, all the faculties are instructed in Sengol IAS Academy to be specific on telling whether notes is required or not. Okay, subjects like bilateral relation will be requiring notes. Okay, you will need to feel something. Okay, so in that areas and all, you will be provided with adequate notes. Okay, so this is related to the note making point. Okay, and I want to tell you two principles that you follow while note making. Okay, that is, the magic number is 3. So whenever you take notes, you have to take notes 3 points for each topic or subtopic, not more than that. Okay, if you stick to that, you will be taking more notes from more number of topics rather than sticking to 1 point. For example, if there is a topic called as election or election reforms, recently elections are over now, we can write hundreds of pages. Even in election commission website, there is a document called as electoral reforms. It runs into 325 pages. It itself is a book. A topic can itself be written as a book. Okay, so 3 points, that's all. Sharp point whenever you're taking notes. Maximum, if at all you have to go beyond 3, maximum 5. So magic number is 3. And when you are taking notes, when you are searching any book or searching the internet, you follow the 2-click strategy. Nowadays, the problem is, you will start to browse to learn about space science. Okay, you will end up browsing a gossip about a celebrity. Okay, or you may be ending up browsing about a particular dish, or you may be browsing about a particular dynasty. Okay, you may ask how, so each page, a lot of advertisement comes, and lot of double things and all coming. So automatically what you will do is, you will keep on clicking on those links without even realizing what you're doing. So 2-click strategy. First, you Google for certain information, answer is coming. Once again, you click, you go for another page, once again, you can click. That's all. After that, you should come back and go to the next topic. Okay. So whenever you are making notes, you have to follow these two principles. 3 points, 3 points for each topic. If more the points are increasing, divided it into two subtopics, three subtopics, four subtopics, and inside that put 3 3 3. So 3 points is easier to remember the mind. Okay, and then go for 2 clicks. That's it. Two click, not more than that. Okay. Now we will be having a separate session on how to use technology also. Okay, especially Google and ChatGPT. Okay, so I will deal with that as a separate class, because these two are majorly distractors. More, it gives a lot of information, and sometimes it gives you a lot of curiosity, so you keep engaging with it without reading for the uh, examination. You leave the goals of the examination and you get distracted in the ocean of knowledge. We should not do that. Okay, so that is why I'm asking you to follow these two principles. Okay, magic number 3 and 2-click strategy while making notes. Now sir, is there any structure for taking the notes? Okay. So when it comes to newspaper or any subject, okay, so you have to first ask the question what it is, why it is there in that textbook or newspaper. Okay, any mechanism that is involved, how, what are the issues related to that particular topic, issues or problems related, and what is the solution. Okay, like that you have to read. Now this structure more suits to a newspaper note making than for a textbook. However, okay, you must ask question while reading. You just don't read, you converse with the book, always remember. Okay, I tell my students, don't read the book, converse with the book, which means you have to ask questions. Why is it so, what it is, how it is possible. Okay, whether it's not, it's ethical issues is involved, medical issues is involved. Okay, whether it's not, environmental issues is involved, and what shall be the solution. You think like that and make notes. Textbooks do not concentrate in that holistic way. Okay, but you can do it. Okay, so what, why, how, issues and solution. While newspaper reading class is there, I will explain the same concept with the details. Okay, I will demonstrate with a topic itself. Okay, you will have further understanding. Okay, and there is another complementary technique how to read newspapers. I'm restricting it to reading the textbooks now, because I don't want to overdump you with a lot of techniques, you will forget all. Okay, I'll teach something, try the technique, familiarize with the technique, enjoy the benefits of the technique, then read the new technique. Okay, that is the way the classes will be dealt. So that is why I'm not rushing through it right now. Okay, fine. Now, how to revise. Okay, then, okay, note making is okay. How to revise. Okay, revise, people say how many revisions? 3 revisions, right? Traditionally 3 revisions. Okay, now in UPSC preparation, competitive examination, first you go for a casual reading, right? Okay, then second reading you go for a in detail reading. That itself is a second revision. Okay, this in detail reading, okay, parallelly you will know the previous year question and syllabus. Okay, syllabus initially itself will see, but you will not understand. But reading the syllabus after one casual reading, okay, and once again knowing the syllabus, you will know which area to go in detail, which area to leave. Okay, for in detail reading. Okay, so this is the second reading. So when you plan accordingly. Okay, then third is revision through tests. As I said you yesterday, okay, from January onwards you have to go for test mode. More the number of tests you take, more is the chance of clearing the examination. So revision through test taking is the best way of revising. Okay, and that revision in test taking also. Revision is possible when you evaluate your performance in test. Okay, what is the evaluation performance of the test? One is knowledge evaluation, another is technique evaluation. Okay, so what is knowledge evaluation? Knowledge evaluation is that whatever questions you are taking, if you are facing a question which you don't know answer, you don't know that area, going and revising that area, studying that area. If you are not remembering that area, you are forgotten, then you can go and specifically revise that area. Instead of revising linearly everything, you revise only which you are forgetting, which you lost the concept clarity, which you really need a revision. Okay, so knowledge evaluation is that. Technique evaluation is that why you made a mistake, whether it is a guess, wild guess. Okay, if guess means once again you have to go and see for the concept clarity. Okay, if you are not able to know one point, you have missed one point reading, go to that area and read. Okay, so with regarding to technique evaluation, I will be teaching it after tests. Okay, what one first test should be conducted, that we will be talking about what are the techniques that is involved in making the test, and how to evaluate yourself in the techniques of test taking. And at that time we can see that. Right now, we are very much concerned is that these two types of evaluation will in the test will lead you to further revision only. So that revision is specific, where revision is required you will get the revision, and you will be able to complete the revision part also faster. Okay, here I am so much concerned about productivity, saving time, so that you are clearing the exam in the first time itself, in first attempt itself, at the young age itself. Clear? Yes. Now a time for doubts. Any doubts to you? Yes. Any doubts you can ask. Yes, yes, please. Any doubts, kindly ask me. Yeah, there is one question: how to identify if a particular topic is important in NCRT? So that is why first time when you read NCRT, don't worry, especially that 6 to 10th NCRT I told you, of geography, which is important, which is not important, don't worry. Okay, in that, no need to worry. Okay, in polity and 11th standard, 12th standard books only, I must give you the priority. I must tell you this subject you read, this chapter you read, this chapter you don't read. But now what I've given 6 to 10th, no need to worry about the importance also. No need to worry about memory. No need to worry about understanding. No need to worry about importance of chapter. It's a casual reading. Okay, it's a welcome drink for you. Okay, so do it casually, very casually. Only thing is you have to complete this in 7 days. Okay, 6 to 10th book. That target alone, keep it in mind. Okay, when it comes to other subjects, I'll tell you, for example, macroeconomics, economics, when it comes, I'll ask you to read only macroeconomy and leave the microeconomy part. And even in macroeconomy part, the first point, about money. Okay, that I'll ask you to leave, or I will give you a question answer format handout, which will help you to easily understand that. Okay, wherever it is tougher, we will come and interfere. Clear, Pawan? See, order is very important. Priority is very important. Okay, so somebody else, if your friends, your seniors are saying, no, you read from that book, this book. Okay, when you have come here trusting me, okay, you should listen only to me. Okay, that is the golden rule. Okay, any guru would say that. Okay, you just listen to me, trust me, then you will be able to clear it in the first attempt. Good. In 2 hours, what is the minimum portion to be covered in NCERT? It depends upon your speed. Okay. But for 5 books, I have given 7 days. The idea is one book a day. That is first day, sixth book, second day, seventh book, third day, eighth book, ninth book, fourth and fifth day, 10th book, sixth and seventh day. Okay. Now, if you are a person, okay, who wants to study for 4 hours, and I'm ready to study 4 hours, 5 hours, then per day itself 2 3 books, you 2 books if you are able to complete, fine. Or sometimes you may be a slow reader, so initially, okay, you may take even to complete that one book, 3 or 4 hours, sit and read. Okay. Today, first day, at least if you cover 50% of the sixth book, I'll be happy in 2 hours. If you're not completing it, stretch yourself, sit for extra hours and read. Okay. See, this learning process is two-way. Okay. If you want to be guided by me in a more effective way, you need to ask what you want. Don't ever think that the question that you're asking would be silly. You should realize that only when you are without any doubt and preparing, you will be able to maximize your productivity. Okay, never ever worry here. You should be worried, okay, only to make mistakes in the examination, not while you are practicing. Only when you make lot of mistakes, even silly mistakes, that will train you to be a more proficient person. Okay, so we will go for a break, 10-minute break. Okay, and after that I will be discussing with you. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes break we will. Yesterday it took 15 minutes. 15 minutes break we will take. Once the 15-minute break is over, we will come back and we will be discussing about, okay, some concepts. Okay, some concepts in various subjects. Okay, so just to give a overall idea, how to learn things and other things and all. Okay, so we will meet in the next session. Let us start. Let us start. First, in the recent elections, Lok Sabha elections, opposition parties were blaming that the union government is against federalism. There are a lot of measures that is being taking place against federalism. Okay. So what is this federalism? As I told you, I'm just discussing some important concepts in various subjects. Okay, to just show you the demo how the teaching will be there in the Sengol IAS Academy. So federalism. The word federalism, we have to see where it came from. What is the root word? There is a word in English called as feud. Feud means fight. Okay, like feeders means agreement. Feud means fight. Feeders means agreement. Okay, it is opposite. Feed versus feeders. So the word feeders, from that only federalism came. So federalism is actually an agreement. Agreement between whom? Agreement between two governments. Okay, two land masses, telling that they will live united. At the same time, they will have their own autonomy. Sir, I don't understand anything, sir. Like you are saying. Assume that you are a king or queen managing a small territory, managing a very small territory, and you are constantly facing attack. Assume that you are a small king, okay, managing a territory. You are facing a lot of threats from your surrounding. So one day you are planning that what if I am a big country? What am I making, some agreements with my neighboring countries, and we create a new country which is larger, okay, so that any enemy has a fear to attack it. Okay, so in those days it happened. Many times kings, they wanted to form alliances, form a bigger country in order to ensure the security of their people. So now, supposing you are the king of a small territory, you are going and making an agreement, underline the word agreement, with other kings, telling that, okay, let us have a bigger country. At that time, whether you will submit all your powers to that one person or to the union, or you will retain important powers and give the significant other significant powers to the union. What you will do? If I was there, I will do the second option. Second option, I will accept to be part of a bigger union, but I will retain my autonomy. So that is what federalism is. Federalism is like there will be two or more levels of government, two governments, and there will be separation of powers. In India's case, we have a union government and the state government, right? Okay, I should mention division of powers. There will be division of powers. Meaning the powers will be divided between the union government and the state government. There is division of powers. Now, I told there will be state autonomy, that is the smaller government. I told you being a king of a smaller territory, you say that I'll retain most autonomy. What is autonomy? Acting by ourselves without any intervention. Okay, so every state in India is having autonomy. So in federalism, there will be state autonomy. There will be state autonomy. The state autonomy. There will be state autonomy. So very simple. Whenever we call our country federal, it means that there are two governments and there is division of powers. Union government has its own powers like railway, defense, etc. State government has its own powers like land, agriculture, etc. Right. Now there won't be mutual intervention between any of these states. Okay, there is no intervention of the union government in the state government. There is no intervention of the state government in the union government. There is four unique features of Indian federalism, which we'll see later in the class. As of now, you know what is federalism. Fine. In current affairs, the people are saying federalism is attacked because the state autonomy is affected. Okay, states are not allowed to function by itself. Okay, one chief minister was in jail, Jharkhand, and another chief minister, Arvind Kejriwal, was also sent to jail. Opposition parties, especially regional parties' finances were freezed. Okay, so in this case, they told that you are attacking the state autonomy. Union government is attacking the state autonomy. So I feel that now you understand what is federalism. Okay, especially Karnataka. I should say that funds, very less funds have been allocated to Karnataka. Karnataka is asking for its due funds in order to develop its economy, but the union government is refusing. That is why they are saying federalism is at stake. Federalism is at a critical stage. Okay, so yeah, now I would like to talk about inflation. In economy, there is a concept of inflation. Why we have to talk about this concept of inflation now? Because in the recent times, the inflation for food items has gone beyond 20%. Okay, and it is a worrying thing about Indian economy. So first we must know what is inflation. Okay, inflation, they say, is rise in the absolute price of the product, okay, any product, but decrease in the value of money. What is this, sir? I will explain it in a simple example. Supposing today you are going to stop with 100 rupees. If you are able to buy 1 kg of rice, or 2 kg of rice, let's take. Okay, that is the reality. Okay, because the rice price, on average hovers between 40 to 60 rupees present market levels. So let us take 50 rupees per kg. So for 100 rupees, you are getting 2 kg. Okay. Now what happens? Another 10 days, you are taking the same 100 rupees to the store, but the store wala is saying that now the price of the rice 1 kg is 75 rupees. So now with the same 100 rupees, you will be able to buy, okay, only uh, 1.3 kgs of rice. Okay, not 2 kgs of rice. So same 100 rupees value, but today you are able to buy a higher quantity, but with the same 100 rupees, you are able to buy a lesser quantity, which means the value of money has decreased. Value of money has decreased. But the commodity's price from 50 rupees, it has increased to 75 rupees. So whenever there is increase in the price of the commodity, the value of money is decreasing. So in inflated situation, what happens is, okay, the value of money would decrease. The value of money should not decrease, or that inflation range, it should not be more than 5% or ideally 6%. Purchasing power is decreasing, which means the ability of the people to buy reduces. See, I told rice price increases, value of money decreases. So supposing today you have 100 rupees, and for 50 rupees you are buying 1 kg, remaining 50 rupees you can buy other commodity. But 75 rupees you are using to buy rice itself. With remaining 25 rupees, you will be having a difficulty to buy other products. Okay, so the economy also has a product. When purchasing power decreases, demand decreases. Okay, when demand decreases, the further the economy goes in. Okay, uh, decreased growth. Okay, demand decreases, economy, that is, the demand for production is reduced. So people will produce less. So the economy also will grow at a lesser rate. So that is why inflation is very bad. Right now, those connect and all they'll teach you in class. Right now, what is inflation? Inflation is simple. That increase in value of money. Sorry, increase in value of money and increase in the price of the commodity. Okay. So inflation is good or bad? They're saying inflation is good as long as it is well below 6%. And if it goes beyond 6%, it is going to be a trouble. Why? 6% per annum. Okay. Right. See, supposing you are getting 1,000 rupees, or I should say 1 lakh rupee as salary. Okay, 1 lakh rupee as salary. And you are getting a hike of 10%. You are getting a hike of 10% after 1 year of work. If the inflation is 6%, what happens is the actual increase is only 4%. Or I should say, supposing the inflation is also 10%, this year you getting 1 lakh is equal to next year getting 1 lakh 10,000. So actually your salary is not increased. So since your salary is not increased, your purchasing power has not increased. But in case the inflation is 6% and your salary hike is 10%, you are getting excess. That with that money you can purchase more, demand more, so the economic grows. So that is why they are saying that on an average, people get 10% of hike in salary, sometimes 5%. So those countries in which the salary hike is 5%, the interest rate should be 5%. sorry, the inflation rate should be 5% or less than that, better than less than that. The optimum inflation rate would be 3%. So that is why salary hike also should be nominally 10% in order to uh, earn more than what people actually earned in the previous year after deducting it for inflation. Okay. So this is about inflation. I just wanted to talk to you. This is a concept from economy. Now we will see a concept from geography. Okay. Cyclone. Okay. Cyclone is always, today also there is rain in Chennai. Okay. Rain in Kerala, northeastern states. This year, one unique thing has happened. Usually, the monsoon will start in Kerala and will peak in northeast states. Okay. Travel like this from South India to Northeast India. But the same day, cyclone has begun. Both one has begun in South India as well as Northeast India, which means the speed of the cyclone wind is too faster that it reaches both places, and its width, the width of the cyclone. Okay, they say the length of the cyclone is the diameter of the cyclone. The diameter of the cyclone is wider compared to any of the cyclones before or monsoons before. Okay, fine. Now, first, what is the difference between air and wind? Sir, is there any difference between air and wind? Yes, there is difference between air and wind. Okay, air is constituted of a mixture of gases, right? O2, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, okay, and other air, okay, gases in smaller amounts. Okay, so predominantly what is present is nitrogen, okay, which is inactive, and we have 30 percentage of oxygen, which is active and it can create oxides. And all that stuff we know. But air is the molecules we speak of. Wind is air in movement. Wind is air in movement. When air moves, it is called as wind. Air can move vertically, okay, or it can move horizontally. The air which moves horizontally is called as wind. North to south, east to west, west to east, west to north. Okay, so this is called as movement of air. This wind, that is horizontal movement of air. Okay, so when air moves up, we call it as ascent and descent of air. Okay, we don't call it as a wind. Okay, so now what is the importance of this wind? Usually, warm air, okay, ascends and cold air descends. Okay, warm air, okay, since warm air it is in a vibrating stage. Okay, so what happens is warm air will go up, its density is less because you warm something, it will expand. When it expands, the space between molecules will be lesser, so it becomes little denser. Okay, it goes up. Whereas with respect to uh, condensed cool objects, it does not expand, it shrinks so that the molecules come side by side. When the molecules come side by side, what happens is it weight increases, density increases, it descends. Okay, so this movement of air up, down, and wind, okay, from one direction to another direction, that is what we call it as a cyclone. In simple words, okay, cyclone is nothing but circulation of air. Okay, in which, okay, the dense air tends to go down and towards warm air tends to come to. There is a concept called as thermostatus. That is always all our body, our body and the geography, the globe wants to maintain a equilibrium in its temperature. There's no high temperature, no low equilibrium. So it constantly the cold air and warm air mixes up, okay, in order to bring a equilibrium. In the attempt to bring equilibrium, when there is a movement of warm air to cold air to warm air, what happens is, okay, a circulation of air takes place, a circular air. So this circulation gets intensified due to pressure variations or temperature differences, and it, when revolves on the sea, takes all water, and when it comes to land, it throws the water on the land. So this is the simple concept of a cyclone. There are two types of cyclone. One is temperate cyclone, okay, and tropical cyclone. We will be learning further in depth, okay, about this temperate cyclone, tropical cyclone, what is the eye of the cyclone, diameter of the cyclone, okay, how it is able to take the water, what is relative humidity, okay, all those concepts we will learn. And see, in UPSC examination, you learn all the basics from various subjects. So if rain comes, you will be able to predict how many days this rain will be there. You will be able to tell that how long this cyclone will exist. If there is a calm atmosphere, we call it as an eye of the cyclone, which means there is going to be a heavy rain after this. Okay, so all these things you will be able to observe. As an administrator, you will come to know. So with this knowledge, you will be able to announce school for leave for schools, colleges. You can be prepared for any cyclone related disasters like flood. Okay, so this is how geography is very important. So each faculty will be dealing the concepts in that way. Okay. Now in international relation, we come to international relation. There is a concept called as deterrence. Okay, deterrence. What is this deterrence? Deter means to stop your enemy from doing an act. If you fear that your enemy is going to attack you, you can be prepared, okay, or prepared to defend, but you can do something in order to stop the enemy to act. So that is called as deterrent. Okay, so it is prevent an act by preemptive act. Prevent an act by preemptive act. So what do you mean by this? Supposing you suspect that one day enemy may intrude into your country, so you build a wall. It is a deterrent act. Or you build a nuclear weapon. Okay. So recently we have prepared a missile called as Agni P. Okay, there's Agni 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is just 2000 kilometers. It is tactical surface to surface missile which can be used in the Air Force. Okay, we are doing it because we are going to face and we may face an immediate warfare that China may attack India. China may attack India through missiles only. If these missiles are to be destroyed, we need to be on the air and attack them back through surface. So when we prepare this missile, we show the enemy that we are ready to attack back. We show that we will retaliate. We show that we will make more damage to the enemy than the damage that they can incur on us. Likewise, Pakistan also, because of nuclear weapon, we are preventing war from Pakistan. When India made a strike rate at Balakot in Pakistan, okay, surgical strike at Balakot. Okay, Pakistan did not respond because we had a nuclear weapon. If they fought back with us, we may use our nuclear weapon. So it deterred them, stopped them from involving any mischievous act against India. That is what we call it as deterrence. Okay. Any doubts in this? And here you noted that science and technology is involved. You want a missile, you need to know space science. Okay. Then we spoke about geography. If you want to know about cyclone, we need to read pressure. Physics, we know, we must know. We must know about temperature. Okay, the relation between pressure and temperature. Okay, PVT they say, pressure, volume, temperature. Okay, when I spoke of geography, when I said like molecules expand on heating, okay, there is an inverse relation or direct relation. When we increase the heat, molecules, so there is a direct relation, direct heat proportionally temperature and volume is related, but pressure and volume, temperature and volume is vice versa, inversely related. Okay, so this science you must know in order to understand geography. So in fact, learning multiple subjects, multiple concepts it does not need extra space. It actually reinforces what you have already learned, and it is make it easier for you to learn the other subjects also. Okay, so it is a holistic way of study. This exam is about holistically studying. Okay, so you know something of everything, so that you are able to take good decisions when you are administrator. And I'll tell you, things are going to be easier when there are more and more subjects, diverse subjects. When you read one single subject, the connections are missing, so you will not be able to study. But UPSC is easier to study because we have interdisciplinary approach. We study multiple subjects. Okay, so it's going to be easy path. When we see only it is discrete subjects, quality, economy, history are all separated as separated disciplines, because man can learn, master can certain areas only, certain domains only. And one's lifetime is not enough to be expertise in all the subjects. Okay, so that is why they are divided. They are academic divide, but they are all interconnected. So that interconnection has to be set. So UPSC exam makes your preparation easy because of multiple subjects. That is why those people, some of my students will say that there are many subjects. I'll skip one subject. I'll say that if you're skipping one subject, you are making it harder. But when you cover all the subject, you make your preparation easier. Learning of one point in one subject will help us to excel in other areas also. Okay. Now in ethics paper, okay, there is a concept called as integrity. Same concept is used in political science and polity also, integrity. But the meaning is different, different places. Integrity, what is the meaning of it? Somebody tell me, what do you mean by integrity? What do you mean by integrity? Integrity means how far you are saying to what you say. You say one thing and you do not follow that, then you are not a person of integrity. Okay, honesty is different. Okay, honesty is, being honest to others in their social relation. Integrity is being honest to oneself. Being honest to others is not. Integrity for polity means a country should be stable without being divided. Integrity means a country should be stable without being divided. Country should be staying stable without divided. Such country is what we call as a country of integrity. The country should not only be united at one point of time, it should be continuously united. Continuously united. That is what they call as integrity. Okay, fine. Any doubts? Dealt with 5 different subjects, marks for concept. This will be repeated again, okay, because this should be spoken in relation to other concepts also. This will be repeated again. Okay. Fine. Any doubts? Yes, students. Any doubts? We are going to wind up the session. Any doubts? என்னது அது answer பண்ணேன். Any doubts? Okay, shall we wind up the session? Okay, classes will start from Monday. Okay, timing I will discuss individually with the students. Okay, the most comfortable time will be fixed. Okay, so we will plan and we'll let you know the time. Okay, so far I feel that you people are comfortable with 3 to 5:30, but anyway I will check other students also. Okay, and I will make a consensus decision wherein we'll fix the class. Okay, yeah, the new batch in a new group will be added in WhatsApp and you will be given instructions. The software is also ready. Okay, so you will be getting the website link and the app. Okay, by tomorrow evening or Sunday morning. Okay, so there you can find your own profile, your test, your batch related details, your assignments. Okay, your mentoring related details. Okay, all those things you can find. Okay, so you will receive your app by tomorrow evening or Sunday morning. Okay, so when you come Monday, most probably we will be having the class through the when you come on Monday, the class will be through the software. Okay, so how to attend the class through the software, I'll teach. Okay, that will be the session on Monday most probably. Okay, so what are the things I'll demonstrate? What are the things for there? How to use the dashboard and other things and that I'll teach. Okay. If the full system is not ready by Monday, we will start the class. Quality will be the first class. Okay, we will be starting with introduction to quality, how to read the NCRT books of quality, in what order, and we'll be dealing with some concepts of grammar. Okay, shall we wind up? Can I get a thumbs up? Yeah, can I get a thumbs up from you all? Okay, fine. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Signing off. Happy reading with me.